Hi, this is Mason, and you're watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Now it's time to start the post-game show. Here's Brian.
83-72. Carbon copy-ish to what we saw down at Atlanta Tuesday night. Best first half of the season. Really goes without saying. Got not quite as nervy as it did on Tuesday, but got a little tight around the collar. Got a little tight around the collar there with a few minutes to go. But the Orange, they made 2 or 3 plays down the stretch. The one that stands out in the mind is William Kyle got the little tip that led to a steal. It's a pass ahead to Kings. It's the layup and one, and that basically ended the ball game. So all good stuff for the Orange here today as they pick up back-to-back road wins, now move to 2-1 in league play, and continue on these games. They got to win. Our guy T.O., Terrence Oglesby, said it. Florida State, who just got, what happened to them on their home court against NC State today is illegal in most states not named Florida. They got worked by almost 50 by NC State. FSU will be in the Dome on Tuesday. Is that a 9 o'clock game? Is that? I got to look that up. I don't want to think about it. And then Syracuse on the road at BC. You know the deal. You got to go in at BC. So we'll see if the Orange can continue to take care of business. Today we got the full Syracuse experience, right? We got the tantalizingly good J.J. Starling at points. We got the team that can shoot the ball at points. In the first half, we got the defense that Red's been talking about for years, like in people's grill, really forced the pace and style of the game. Donnie Freeman was the best player on the court. In the second half, it's just yeah, is that 9? Yeah, great. In the second half, it felt like they eased off the accelerator a little bit. And then got a little wonky there late, but who made plays late? Donnie Freeman, best player, made plays late. Always helpful to have the best player on the court. The Orange have had the best player on the court here of late, and because of that, they have beaten Georgia Tech and now Pittsburgh. And man, Pittsburgh's in a rough way right now. That does not resemble the good Pitt teams that we certainly know. I wouldn't be surprised if this year is, don't know his contract situation, but if this year is the end of the road for Jeff Capel, because they are going to be one tournament in 8 years during his reign, which certainly not up to what Pittsburgh is. All right, welcome in everybody here today. Link pinned top of the chat. You know the deal on that. If you click it, you can join the show vis-a-vis a live video call. Can't guarantee a Red today. We certainly won't get Red live, but possible if it gets uploaded to the interwebs fast enough like it did on Tuesday night. We may be able to bring you a little Autry before the end of the show. Today, we'll name our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game. Oh, man, we got a little story to tell when it comes to the Backyard Bird Cam later that couldn't actually find it on the bird cam since it happened in the dead of the night, but things were flying in my yard that were not birds last night due to that crazy windstorm. Things took flight that should not have taken flight last night. So maybe when we're glancing at the backyard later, we can get into that. But welcome in, everybody. Yeah, always good to beat Pitt on the road. That is never, I don't care what Pitt is, never an easy place to win over the years, ever since the Pete Open back in 03, 02, whatever it was. Yeah, Pitt's very stale. Pitt's very stale. Thank you, Tim. You as well. To answer, was that your question, Weeze, earlier? The weekly schedule for those still getting in tune to the new stuff we're doing around here. We kicked it off this last week. We are now doing, at this moment, we got the basketball postgame shows. Y'all know that. You are here. If you are here without having subscribed, change that. Like now, just click the button. That's not going to hurt you. And as you can see, Randy, all the people have their names in green. They have become members of the channel. You can do that by clicking the very on-the-nose circle with the $ next to the chat box and exploring the membership options. Membership has its privileges. Your name gets green. And I'll figure out some other stuff that membership can have privileges as we go on. Some of you are getting slightly early access to videos, but we'll figure that out in due time. The weekly schedule here going forward. Here's the general weekly schedule. Thank you, MJ Berg, a new friend of the 315. You can either be a friend of the 315 or a 315 loyalist, which, you got to march on town square if things go awry. So, Mondays and Thursdays, the green and the dollar sign, it's really on the nose. Like, I wish I could change that so it was less on the nose. That's YouTube, not me. It's really, like, it's not allowing. I got to look in the settings to see if we can change that up a little bit, Weeze, because it's a little bit too pointed for what we're trying to go for here. But it's what we got. Tim, thank you, Tim. Yeah, you're spending green. You are green. Like, I think it's just a little too much. It's a little too much. I wish they'd just dial it back. We're not trying to be all up in people's faces with it. We're just, it's there. It's a nice thing. If you'd like to contribute, that's great. Not necessary. And it's just really on the nose with the color choice. I need to get in the settings and see if maybe I can change that to orange. I'd feel much better if that was orange instead of green. I'll have to do a little research. Maybe we'll have a little time this week. Anyway, Weeze. The weekly schedule, Mondays and Thursdays. The show is entitled Live in the 315. So that is 11 a.m. on Mondays and Thursdays. What are we going to do in that show if you weren't with us live this past week? Well, certainly this Monday we'll get into a little weekend recap. We'll do some Portal Watch. We'll talk a little basketball. We'll spin it forward. We'll get you ready. You guys, if you are live in the 315 on Mondays and Thursdays, you'll get first look at No Wrong Answers to get us ready for the week. On Mondays, we'll do No Wrong Answers for either the big Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday game. On Thursdays, we'll do No Wrong Answers for the game upcoming on the weekend on Saturday. This time of year, we'll have Portal Watch. We will have guests during the show. Our guy Mike McAllister joined us last Thursday during the program. That is the show. We're going to be able to work in some guests for you. The live chat will be available, and it's going to give us, a first crack at kicking off the week on Mondays, which I think is wonderful. First chance for y'all to, really get your thoughts out on what happened on the weekend and all of that. Yeah, take that, shows that start at noon. There's a show that starts at 11 now. And then Thursdays, it'll give us a chance to kind of pick it up during the week. We'll have the basketball post-game shows, of course, as always. Thank you, Rob, a new friend of the 315, Rob and the Qs. And then the show with Jordan, Transfer Portal Syracuse, our TPS reports, they are scheduled for Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And unless there's a basketball game on Wednesday, if there is a basketball game on Wednesday, that slides to Thursday. So that's the schedule. Basically right now, if it's a 2-game week during basketball, it's going to give us 5 shows a week. We'll have 2 post games. We'll have me and Jordan. We'll have 2 live in the 315s. And there we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, Randy, I think we'll probably, when's the lacrosse opener? I gotta examine the lacrosse schedule a little bit more thoroughly. We'll see if we can pull off all the games. February could get a little nutty if we try for that. But, yeah, we'll definitely, at minimum, we'll talk some lacrosse, and potentially if a schedule works out and we get an audience for it, then we can explore doing some post-game shows for it. As we know, I love the Lax, but, obviously, the numbers and the viewers and the stuff always looks better with football and basketball, but we'll see how that goes. We'll test it out. We're not going to know it for sure. All right, but this is a basketball post-game show, and we're going to talk some hoops. And yeah, Preston R. Hanula 8819. Well, see, Dom, it's this thing. They've got a pole, and they put a stick with like this net thing on the end, and they throw the old ball around. No, not getting greedy, Randy. I would like to do it. I also would like to do it. I just need to make sure it makes sense. I agree with you. I would enjoy doing it. It's we just gotta examine the old schedule and fiscal situation to make sure it makes sense. But yeah, we will strive to do it, and certainly like once the games start meaning something, right? I got to take a look at this. Gary's February schedules are just so bonkers. I have not thoroughly absorbed it yet this year, but it starts earlier and earlier and earlier, and I wish lacrosse season started in the freaking spring and not in the dead of winter. Anyway, link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the conversation today. What are the different member buttons? I don't, Tim. Yeah, there's a friend of the 315, and there's a 315 loyalist, and you've got the super stickers and the super chat where you can make a donate to. It does crazy things in the chat. It makes your chat go wild, and it gives it all sorts of crazy bells and whistles. If you'd like to explore those options as well, winter is over, Weiss. Sure it is. Sure it is. Your cousins did that thing in high school in Baldwinsville. Yeah, the stick with the ball and the net, and they throw it around. Yeah, some guys named Powell and Gate. Yeah, Randy, hopefully there's meaningful games in March, to once again use the John Wildhack term, for basketball. We need some meaningful games in March for basketball. Where was Betsy in the second half? Tyler Betsy did not did he even score today? I don't think he scored, did he? What did Betsy do today? Betsy had 9 points today in this game? Did I watch that? He had 3 threes in the first. I did not absorb Betsy hitting those threes in the first half. It's amazing. The Tyler Betsy games are, even when he's hitting threes in the first half, I was also simultaneously helping build a Lego train in the first half, so perhaps that when Betsy's threes were going in. Betsy's second half, 4 minutes, did not attempt the shot. Betsy, even when he scores a lot, it's a quiet game. Even when Betsy scores a lot, it's a quiet game. He's just not a noisy player. He's not a big emotion guy on the court. He's one where it just kind of floats. Wow. I was on my Betsy prediction. I had Betsy with 3 threes and no wrong answers. Shout out. No wrong answers on it. You get it. And I think I had the final scores like 80-73, so we were very close on the exact final score as well. Yeah, the putback slam from Kyle was wild. I'm telling you, Randy, this Lego train, which was one of Max's Christmas presents, like what they've done with the Lego situations now, it's got like it runs. Like it's got a track and it's got it's a 3-car train. You got a dining car, you've got the regular car, and you got the locomotive. The batteries in this thing, the locomotive itself, it takes 6 AAAs in the battery pack thing that goes in, and then cords are going. It's got like headlights, and it's got another 3 AAAs to go to like the remote control thing for it. But when you but it's got like 10 speed levels. When you like step on the gas, that thing is hauling ass. Like Lego shouldn't be moving that fast. It's also led to repeated crashes, derailings, and having to fix it. Anywho, the William Kyle dunk, Mark, was unfreaking believable. Like, he cocked it back. He dunk contested that thing while in midair on a tip dunk. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that. What were Kyle's final numbers today? Kyle had 11 points, 4 rebounds. I don't even know if he blocked a shot today. But I was paying special attention at various times during the game today to Kyle's defense for a lot of reasons. I talked the other day, and I think no wrong answers are one of the things we were doing, about how Kyle and Donnie are, I would hope so, Daniel, Kyle and Donnie are still learning how to play off each other, I think, at both ends of the court. And, Kyle is a guy that on the court seems to like he likes to fit in the holes that are missing. So when Donnie was out, his offensive output increased, and obviously there was more room to operate near the basket on the offensive end. Not as much now. Yeah, the dunk at the beginning of the game was also really good, Super Cat. Unfortunately, T. Murphy, and maybe we need to sue somebody. We find another year for Kyle. It's my understanding that Kyle and Kings were both. Are they both 1 year? I don't know. I can't keep track of all these things. Yes, it's his last year. He played. It's his last year too. He played 3 years at South Dakota State, right? Then he had the year at UCLA, and this is year 5 in college. So yeah, this is Kyle's last year. He'd be someone that, man, he's a fantastic college athlete that realistically is going to be a round peg, square hole for the NBA, but just a fantastic athlete everywhere. Yeah, sue everyone, Weez. It's the way. It's the only way. Did you see somebody sending me on Twitter? They slow-moed it down a little bit on the replay. One of the Pitt cheerleaders under the basket was just like, and like froze. She just absolutely froze. I'm not downing heavy whipping cream as a nod to Jordan. No, Ryan. In this household, we use our whipping cream as cream. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Yeah, absolutely. George have to win the next 2 games. Absolutely have to win the next 2 games. But Kyle and Freeman, they're starting to. I think they're. Obviously Donnie's the best player in the court. Everyone knows it. And when you have a guy like that, and everyone knows that he's the guy, man, it starts to slot things into place so much better. And I'm watching the way Kyle, instead of like walling up and guarding the rim like centers typically do, Kyle kind of does like this. He's like, no, you can try to go that way. Like, I'll give you a little space if you want to go that way, but just like you're aware of how high I can jump. And the fact that he's turned sideways instead of just walled straight up, it allows him to get, to do the Malik Brown pokey poke stuff. And that's what led on the play with around a minute left. He got the little tip in. Was it Corin? I'm not sure where he got the ball away from. He reached in because he was sideways so he could reach further. He has long arms. He reaches off screen. Because he was sideways, he could reach further and got the little boop, and it started the break that led to the Kings and 1. If he was walled up, there's no way. Like, if you go out to try to make a play like that, you're going right through somebody's body and fouling. It is such savvy defense from Kyle. Such savvy defense. You got to be a little worried about the foul trouble we've seen here in ACC play. It was good to see, though. All right, fouls cost him minutes in the first half. You didn't have to worry about it because everyone, including Suarez, playing well. You build the big lead, so you're allowed to play him in the second half, which is why I wish he had played even more minutes in the second half to make up for the minutes he hadn't been on the court in the first half. Like, he got taken out with 3-ish minutes left after a bad play that wasn't really on him. It's like, no, leave this guy in the game. You got to leave this guy in the game. Hopefully, MJ Burke, and the thing is, like, these are the games you got to win, and these are games where you can win them and figure these things out. You've got the same Target cup, Prince Mark. Cheers. It's weird because I always think this cup is clear. It does have a weirdly pinkish tinge to it, even though like it catches the light, and I think it is a Target cup. Refreshing. Got the NFL game about to start. What's this? What do we got? Rams, Panthers on the old television about to get going from down in Carolina. You don't know what's in here or not, Dom. It could be anything. It could be anything. So, and again, link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the show. Hopefully before we're done, we might be able to get you some red. No guarantees on a road game, but we'll keep that option available to you. But the Kyle defense, to go back to it, like those, how many games this year? Go back to the end of the Tennessee game. Go back to like some of the games that Syracuse has won that have been close late. Defining plays in a majority of those games, it feels like have been William Kyle defensive plays late in the game. And not always block shots, right? Not always block shots. You'd think of him for blocks with good reason. But today it's the steal. I don't think he even had a block today. When I checked earlier, he did not have one yet, and I don't recall one late. William Kyle. What do we got for Kyle today? No blocks, 4 steals. So, and that I think goes to what he was saying. It's, did you say that out loud, Randy? How could you? I will say this. I thank you all for your loyalty in coming here, and I hopefully return the loyalty. We got the same people, a.k.a. me, sitting here after every game. So we can have it's like a great, the way I view this here, yeah, it's a nice conversation for an hour or so. But it's a conversation that continues from game to game and year to year. The show needs more music, Weeze. Well, Weeze, now that you've learned the schedule here, and I know a big part of the old show is how many like music and opens and whatnot. It's a little different here that we're going YouTube only. We got to we're working our way toward, once we get to, we've been able to add the membership levels now that we've hit 500. And again, if you're here and have not subscribed, do subscribe. It helps the channel. When we get to 1,000, then we can start monetizing some stuff. So I don't want to build in too many elements that would be a copyright issue, because then no monetizing comes this way. It all goes other ways. But if you turn into the Monday and the Thursday show, I've started adding some elements that have opens and stuff with music under it, though non-commercial music, lest the copyright folks get all about it. Monday and Thursday, 11 a.m., live in the 315. We go about an hour Monday and Thursday. That started this past Monday. The plan is to do that going forward on Mondays and Thursdays. We'll talk Portal. We'll talk No Wrong Answers. We'll talk hoops. We'll talk basketball. We'll talk whatever. We'll have guests. We'll have your calls. We'll do it all up. We got our first game. We got our post-game shows. We got me and Jordan on Wednesdays. Monday and Thursday at 11 a.m., Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. 11 a.m. Eastern is the time for the shows. Monday and Thursday, 11 o'clock. The post-game shows, as I feel most of you have figured out, are after the game. There is a game. It ends. And now we are post the game, so we do the shows. Yes, like Monday we will have a show at 11 a.m. 11 to 1 p.m. Yeah, it's more like noonish. It's more like noonish. We're not like, we're going right into the lunching hour. Like, we got other stuff going on. I've also just added, starting this upcoming Monday, some professorial duties at the old Newhouse, which are Monday and Wednesday at 5-ish, so we can't be going that late. So yes, Randy, the post-game shows are after the games, and you'll be working at those times. Well, yeah, I've got great news for you, Mark. If you're working at those times, what wonderful news I have for you. And for all of you that can't join us live at 11 because you're actually doing your job, which is just crazy. I know most of you guys are slacking off and listening to us. You can watch it later. It's archived. And may I say, it becomes an audio podcast, all of these fine broadcasts later, which you can find on Spotify, Apple Music, which seems to be where a majority of people have subscribed, and, as it is said, wherever podcasts are available. So go subscribe there. Do I have an anti-compete agreement? No, Dom, but I'm aware of their schedule, so I've used it to set my schedule to hopefully work for my advantage, Dom. That's what I'm doing here. I'm aware of other schedules, and I'm using it to work for everybody, right? Yeah, the team better. How about this, Randy? The team better be 4-1 in conference. They should be 5-0. Like, if the team's not 4-1 in conference in a week, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's true. You can't participate in the chat, but you can turn on live chat replay so you can at least see the other participation that has occurred in the chat. So it is an available option. Like, you're not missing the chat. You just don't get to have any input that gets responded to, which is sad, as I know. Well, I just figure, hey, if we go at 11 a.m. on Monday, Dom, we get first crack. We get first crack of the week. Like, we're batting the lead off in Syracuse for the week. Like, we are up first. We are in the batter's box, and we're ready to go. Shout out Simply Sweet Sisters. Yes, buy some stuff. Buy some stuff. The proprietor is currently concocting new ideas for the future of it. We got a dehydrator thing, so we're dehydrating some stuff. And that's gonna, it'll smell real nice when you rehydrate it later. So how about that? We got all sorts of things. We got all sorts of things going on. All sorts of things going on. Okay, link pin top of the chat if you'd like to join the show after Syracuse's 83-72 win over Pittsburgh here today. I'm a gentleman and sometimes a scholar, Weeze. How about that? Donnie Freeman's really good. A cologne? I don't know if we're I don't know if they'll be expanding into just the straight fragrance, but I don't know how you'd make a cologne. Maybe. Have to look into the manufacturing of a cologne. Yeah, coffee. Yes, and you West Coasters. Yeah, for the West Coast crew, we got San Diego, Oregon, LA. We got y'all. We're up and down. An orange candle? Yeah, perhaps. You smash the subscribe button? Yeah, smash that subscribe button. Good, MJ Berg. We can. There's currently oranges being dehydrated in the dehydrator thing. Is it too early to ask if they can keep Freeman next year? I'm like, if Donnie Freeman keeps playing like this if Donnie Freeman A stays healthy for the next 2.5 months, and B plays like this, and C shoots like this the rest of the way, like he gone. Like the dude is rebounding. The dude is defending pretty well. Like, is he an ace defender? No, but he's trying. He's your best option. He's become the 3-level scorer. He's working at the rim. He's working mid-range. And the 3-point stroke, yeah, they're going in. He's 3 for 6. It's the best-looking 3-point shot on the team. Plus, he's, however actually tall he is, 6'10". Me versus Jackson. Oh, my goodness. That'd be something, huh? Yeah, if Donnie keeps playing I know the draft this upcoming year is supposed to be a really strong draft. You got all those dudes that do, like, there's a ton of stud freshmen in the country. So would he be a guaranteed lottery pick just because it is a really deep and strong draft? I'm not up on it like that at the moment. But if you tell me that this version of Donnie Freeman, if he replicates it, there's 15 more games in the regular season. If he does this 15 more times and stays healthy and looks like this, that's a first round pick, right? Like, we all thought last year when he announced he was not transferring and was coming back, I don't know about you. My thought was that, yeah, next year's it. He's going to come back. He's going to blow up. He's going to be the dude that we all thought he was, and he'll go to the draft, and that's great. And now the main hope is, from the Syracuse perspective, right, that the Orange didn't miss out on the stuff that's actually going to help the program because of the time missed by injury. Now, last year's time missed by injury, most of the season, obviously guaranteed his return. Because who knows, he wouldn't have had to play this well last year as a freshman to still do well enough with the hype to go. The hope is that the 9 games missed this year, that is not the difference of tournament or not tournament. That's the hope. Because it's very possible, depending on how the season goes. Like, if Donnie keeps playing like this, Syracuse is going to win some games. That said, when Syracuse starts playing, Carolina and Duke and Louisville and SMU is pretty good and all the team. Like, when they start playing, NC State won by 8 million points today. That game's in Raleigh in a little less than a month from now against Q and the crew. Like, for Syracuse to even be in the mix for the tournament, Donnie is going to have to play like an NBA player. So, yeah, my hope is we get to enjoy the present, T. Murphy, by it leading to something that we all get to enjoy. Because it's one thing, like, I've enjoyed watching Donnie Freeman these last 2.5 games, but if it then doesn't lead to the tournament, that kind of stinks. Like, it's not as fun, and like it's not as memorable long term, right? Like, Donnie came in with such hype, and then the injuries, and from all accounts, like, I feel bad for, like, I haven't heard anything bad about Donnie. It sounds like in some of these injury situations, his camp and whatnot is involved, and that's just the way things are these days. But I've heard nothing but, like, he's actually a good dude, and he's actually a good teammate, and people like being, like, he's not being a pain in the ass. It's not any of this. But it would stink to get to watch an NBA player in Donnie here if he keeps playing like this for 2 months and then not also get the reward of getting to watch the tournament. That's where it would stink, because it's one of these things, like, you'd like to see these guys for multiple years, but if they give you the reward of the tournament and then the run and then the whole thing, that would be, yeah, and then you bid him adieu and say, meh, and then you have good memories. Like, if Syracuse misses the tournament this year and Red gets fired, but Donnie keeps playing like this, realistically, what's going to happen? In 5 years, even if Donnie is balling in the NBA, we're going to have forgotten about it. Like, I mean, I know Jeremy Grant won some games at Syracuse. Like, Jeremy's been balling in the league for 10 years. Like, great. Good for him. So, but if Donnie, think about that. Like, if the Orange, all right, right the ship here. Donnie's the best player. Donnie's going to be the best player on the court in a lot of games going forward if he keeps playing like this. He is that talented. Duke some of these games, maybe not. But Donnie's going to be the best player on the court in a lot of games. In basketball, when you have the best player, you can win a lot of games. It's the official outfit of Friends of the 315, the quarter zip. Absolutely. Though I am going hoodie today. It is a zip-up hoodie. I always do prefer. This is not a quarter zip. This zips all the way. Burke, we zip all the way down. I do prefer the zip situation when we can get involved with a zip. Get me a zipper and we'll be good. Link pinned top of the chat for those who'd like to join our post-game show here today. Yeah, Dante Green, and like, I think that's a great comparison, Randy. And obviously, Dante's career went a little kooky in the NBA because the injuries hit in the NBA at the exact wrong time when his contract was up. But Dante, like, because of the way that season went and the way the team played and the shots he had to jack up because Devo was hurt and Routens was hurt and was Arinze, like, everyone was hurt that year. Like, Syracuse fans, and then the Dante leave and all that, Syracuse fans decided they didn't like Dante Green. Costco-wise. Like, true Nike, but Costco, so it wasn't insanely expensive. It's very cozy. I have it in Navy as well. Can we justify Cayenne not getting minutes? Today, I mean, JJ played really well. Today, cardiac use, JJ played well. That's how I'd justify it. But everything I've heard about Donnie is he's a good dude. I can vouch for it personally with Dante. Really good dude. Like, he was on a team, like, he was camped in the corner for threes, but he got so much crap because that's what that team had to have. Like, here's what I always say about, like, Dante Green. Like, he'd go talk with anybody. He always had a smile. He was great with the fans. He was great with kids and all that. He went to almost all of the women's basketball games, and that would have been Q's first year. The team was terrible, but Dante Green could play the drums. And he would sit and get, like, the sticks from the drummer of the Pet Band, and he'd sit in and, like, legit, you know, play the set for a few songs and, you know, do it. And, like, he was great. But because that team was coming off the back of, you know, you missed the tournament in Demetrius' senior year. You've got this hugely hyped recruiting class. The season goes to hell. You miss the tournament. Then he's one and done and leaves. Like, he gets painted in this way, which is, it's not, like, I understand why it happened, but it's not fair to, like, people paint him as a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. It was just the situation that happened. I think it's kind of similar here with Donnie Freeman. It's going to be 2 years. Like, he could play great the rest of the way. If they miss the tournament, like, he's not going to leave Syracuse fans unless he himself has some moments that win some big games where realistically, if he does, they'll make the tournament. Like, he could be in and out of here without anything to latch on and remember, it was Dante. I think it was Dante Leave, T. Murphy, not Dante Go. I believe it was Dante Leave was the shirts back then. That was back when everything was a shirt. Was he? he was doing a behind the scenes action. I like it. Yeah, I'm not saying you did, Randy. I think a lot of people did, though. A lot of people decided they didn't like that. Boo this guy. Like, nah, don't boo that guy. Like, Boeheim said it multiple times. So, like, the reason he was playing that way on offense was because he needed to just hoist up shots that year because Devo and Routens got hurt. Like, if you had Devo next to him, it would have been a whole other situation. It's kind of the opposite here for Donnie. Like, now Donnie being back is putting guys more in correct places, and he's got a chance here. You know, I can't think of a player more opposite of Donnie Freeman than John Gillen, but Gillen was here for just the 1 year, and they missed the tournament, right? And you're like, okay. But because they won the massive games and he hit the shot against Duke, like, Gillen weirdly is a guy I want to say he's remembered fondly by Syracuse fans because, man, he was a tough guy to deal with at the time. He was much better during his time with Boeheim's Army. He was often a frustrating watch. Defense was optional. But because he had those moments, he's a guy that gets remembered. And he was just a dude that was here for one year. Like, Donnie, he either needs to have a moment or two like that because he still hasn't had moments. Like, he's a really good player, but I can't circle a moment he's had. Or he needs to go to the tournament and win some games that matter. Just I say to be remembered fondly by all of us, right? Yeah, the NC State game too. Yeah, Randy. Like, Gillen had some freaking moments. Gillen had a ton of moments here. Looks like we got our first call coming in against link pin top of the chat if you'd like to join the program here today. But yeah, Gillen scored. How many straight did he score in that game? He had the most. What was he? 9 of 10 from 3 in that crazy NC State game. That's one of the bonkersest Syracuse games that I can think of. Yeah, the Dynasty Stein from Dante Green. Yeah, but that was fun in November that year. Like, the Dynasty stuff from him and Johnny and Paul. Has everyone seen the Paul Instagram where he said he's coming back for his last year? That was funny. That was fun that year until they didn't win, and then it stuck. And that's why I'm saying, like, Donnie's they gotta make the tournament for us to be able to have something to latch onto vis-a-vis memories of Donnie Freeman. All right, let's get a call in. It's our guy Anthony here. All right, Anthony, same game again, but we'll take it. A nice 11-point road win here today.
Yeah, we can smile today. It was good. It was a good win. What you think?
I thought the first half, Anthony, the first half is the best half they played all year. I think the second half, and my guy T.O. Terrence Oglesby mentioned it a couple times, the defense wasn't as up in their grill as it was in the first half, and I think it allowed them a bag of the game. But then, Donnie Freeman, William Kyle made the plays down the stretch. But I think, and I get Pitt's not great, but I think in many ways it's the best they played all year.
Yeah, I think they were 7 and 8. No, but what I got down is ball, like you correct about ball pressure was tremendous in the first half. I think we let up a little bit on the ball pressure in the second half. Rebounding too. I think we gave up a few rebounds in the second half, but we were rebounding pretty well. And Betsy, remember we were talking about that last game? He kept him in a little bit longer. He had 3 threes. And good ball movement. But I think we won the game basically because we shot 45% from the 3-point line, 56% from the field, and 83% from the free throw line.
Yeah, when you put the ball in the bucket, it helps, man.
Yeah. Starlin 19, Donnie 22. Nate George, he had 6 turnovers. I think we had 11 or 12. He had half of them, but for the most part, I think towards the end he slipping up a little bit. But for the most part, I can't, he directed the team. He got 6 assists. But overall, I'm happy. I think what did we win by 11?
Yeah, 83-72. So 1 by 10 on Tuesday, 1 by 11 today, both on the road.
I mean, I'm happy with it, but I haven't really been harping on it. Last game, I told you that for the beginning of the season, I thought we should play a lot of zone. I think the team is built for the zone. The zone creates turnovers because when they try to get inside, they fumble the ball around. We get a quick turnover. It ignites the offense. I really think we should be playing a lot more zone. I haven't really been talking about with you. I've been talking about, with other people, but I really think we should incorporate that zone. I think it worked for the most part. It held them down.
Yeah, and we've now seen it. We saw it a little bit right on Tuesday, and then we saw them, and I kind of liked how they used it today. It wasn't like, oh, we're switching to zone and staying in it. It was like you didn't know, and I think the not knowing what defense they were getting thrown at them, I think that threw Pitt off a few possessions there when they had it going midway through the second half. And to your point, Anthony, I think that's the right way for this team to use it.
It's a weapon. He got what? He switched back and forth in the zone. Don't stay in it for the whole game, but he switched back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And, I like the way they played today. He kept them off balance. I mean, they let that one guy, that point guard, score 30 points. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? Kyle, that monster dunk, that was crazy.
That dunk was unreal. Cummings ended up with 29. And that's the younger brother of Nellie Cummings, who torched Syracuse repeatedly when he was at Colgate. So the whole family can shoot it when they're playing against Syracuse.
Yeah, we got to keep feeding we're feeding from the bottom right now. We're bottom feeders, and we got to keep doing that until we get to somebody that we could somebody that's ranked. But who's the next ranked team? North Carolina, I think.
Actually, right? Yeah, I mean the next, like you got to win the next two. Then they're not ranked. But Virginia Tech and Miami, whatever the order is of that, it starts to get a little trickier. And then NC State on the road, who's also not ranked, but that's a tough game. On the road, but yeah, you got to win the next two to set yourself up here going forward.
I'm happy with their play. I'm happy with Red mixing things up, getting the offense back going a little bit. I'm happy with it. Can't complain.
Yeah, I think it's been a really, for the most part, a really good week. All right, Anthony, good to hear from you. As always, our guy Anthony checking in here. That's the wrong button. Just an absolute disaster fest of button pressing. We almost got more Mason. We gotta. Yeah, we like Anthony's calls in. We like Anthony's calls in. We'd make fun of you, T. Murphy. No, we wouldn't do that. No, but anybody allowed to call in? The link's pinned top of the chat, and things can get wild and wacky with just we don't have a call screener. We don't know what's about to happen. Things can get out of hand. Like it's just me sitting here, and I'll just put you on the air. Yeah, get out of here, Mason. If you tune into the Wednesday or the Monday and Thursday shows, that's when the shows are. Even more Mason. Let's see if the Red postgame press conference exists anywhere yet. Let's just give it a looky-loo. See if it exists anywhere yet. No. I saw Red postgame, but he's sitting in front of a bunch of things that say Georgia Tech. So that's not the right one. We'll continue to keep to keep it on. Yeah, T. Murphy calling with a bag over your head. Mythic hook. Calling with a bag over your head. Do that. You can be like a New Orleans Saints fan from the 80s. Yeah, T. Murphy and T. Furphy, all of them. Just all of them. All of the various spellings. But if anybody would like to chime in, the link is pinned top of the chat. Should we do our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game? I gotta log back in to look at my bird cam? Why are you making me log? Just keep me logged in. Like, why would I log out? This is my computer. You stay logged in so I can look at birds when I need to look at birds. Thank you, camera. So, all right, Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. There we are, Backyard Bird Cam, the Bird-Fi Metal Bird Feeder. Pick yours up at the link that flies to the chat every now and again, or Wild Birds Unlimited. They'll be open, I think they're actually open for another hour today, but open again tomorrow morning, open 11 to 4 on Sundays. All right, what are you guys feeling? Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. Probably Donnie Freeman, right? 22 points, made big plays down the stretch. I could at least make an argument for J.J. Starling here today. 19 points, and of the last 3 games, the conference games, he's at least he was good today. He was trash for 2 games. He was actually really good today. William Kyle, I'd probably slot him third in the argument today. He made some big plays late. So I think to Super Cat's point, this is a Donnie versus JJ situation. We'll get to those thoughts later, Ryan. I have many thoughts on that. But the juicing station. The juicing station. They were all juiced up today. You're going Starling, Randy. My lean is Donnie. I'm leaning Donnie, but JJ was really good today after not being good the last 2 games. It is nice to have choices. We've not had choices in a minute, good, bad, or otherwise. Last game we didn't have a choice because Donnie was so good. Same with the year before. I think so, George. If they missed the tournament this year, they'll have made 1 tournament in 8 years. Like that's not it. That's not it. Yeah, that's my thought, Jason. Like, he made a couple of big shots late. We had early JJ votes, but precincts reporting later. Donnie should be Freeman. you'd figure you'd vote for somebody else. You know, I like your reasoning, Randy. Noah Abdel back from sickness. He missed the last trip. There was no juicing down in Atlanta. Big juicing today in Pittsburgh. Shout out to Noah. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Donnie's leading the way here. My initial lean was Donnie. I'm gonna go Donnie Freeman. This is he's played 3 games in this part of the season, and Donnie Freeman has been the Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air Player of the game now in all 3 games. He goes 22 points, and man, he hit some key shots late. He hit that deep 2. He hit a 3 right on top of a Pitt 3 earlier in the game. And man, Donnie's really good. But shout out to JJ because like you need all of that, right? You need all of that. Would the Wild Birds Unlimited Player of the game ever go to a non-player? Well, Spatching the Wheeze. I don't know if you were with us for the Notre Dame football game because, good Lord, we should all blank that from our memory. But after the Notre Dame football game, in which Syracuse lost 70-7, and it was 70-0 until the last play of the game, Fran Brown spent the entire game wearing just this snazzy-looking jacket on the sideline. We did give the Wild Birds Unlimited Player of the game to Fran's jacket. So would it ever go to a non-player? Yes, it's in play. But it usually has to be a very ridiculous situation to lead to that. But, yeah, we're open to any idea. But we did, after the Notre Dame football game, give the Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air Player of the game to an article of clothing. And I think we all felt good about that. Can I have polls like Twit? I think I have a polls option here somewhere. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. I can. I can start a poll. Look at that. I mean, the jacket was dripping all over. It just dripped. And it was outstanding. And literally everybody that played in the game for Syracuse was terrible. So, the jacket. Yeah, I don't know what Jordan was doing. It just chugging whipping cream the other day. Donnie Freeman, our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air Player of the game. If you'd like to look at the backyard here, because it's not pitch black, you can note the trampoline there in the middle of the yard. Last night in the dark, I don't, even though this camera would have been pointing at it, it would have been too dark out to see. I went back looking to see if there were any clips of it, and there were not. There's a loud banging noise outside at one point, and then this morning I found the trampoline not in the middle of the yard, but over on the right side of the picture, like curled up into the fence. Apparently the trampoline like lifted off because you can see the gutter in the middle there. Like there's like the sunroom portion of the house, not the kitchen where the light's on there, but to the left of it, the sunroom portion, there's a gutter running down, and there's like the angled piece of the gutter connecting the top horizontal to the lower vertical. So, and that piece of gutter was in the front yard, which is only leading to believe that the trampoline flew up high and knocked it off and then careened into the fence, which seems wild. But we were able to reattach the gutter today. Ladder was just tall enough to do some work, and we unbent most of the stuff that bent on the trampoline. So that was an interesting morning, all captured in the backyard on the Wild Birds Unlimited backyard bird camp. Fire up the poll. What are we polling? Oh, I guess we could have polled for the Wild Birds Unlimited Player of the game, but I already gave it out. I got to do it in the other order, Matt NY. It's not we did the wrong order of operations there. But there we are. Pick up your own Wild Birds Unlimited backyard bird cam. This is the BirdFi metal bird feeder, but they have plenty of options both on the web and in person at their operations in both Fayetteville Town Center and in Camillus. Still time for a call or two if you'd like here. Late on in this post-game show. We've been hanging out for close to an hour. Root canal. Oh, yeah, I didn't want to be watching it, Randy, but I was here for the people. Like, I would have gladly turned that off and done almost anything else. Yeah, George, I had also forgotten about it until the question was asked. Yeah, we're running out of daylight fast, Weeze. We are running low on daylight. The jacket was phenomenal. Like, I'll say this, that game, and I said it during postgame, and I stand by it here today, that game is the most embarrassing moment in the history of Syracuse football, and I stand by, like, the overall tenure of G-Rob surpasses, but as far as one day, one situation, that's number one, most embarrassing. And the only saving grace to anything that day is that Fran's jacket was unbelievable. That's the only saving grace to anything that day. Yeah, the postgame show, we had a good time on the postgame. Like, we had a great crowd on the postgame show. The game itself was just trash terrible. The postgame show was the best part of that whole freaking day. Yeah, Fran's jacket was outstanding. Hofstra won today? There we go. No, like, don't wear the jacket again. Don't wear the jacket again. Yeah, there was no player. Because, honestly, before I was going to name the jacket, before we settled on the jacket, I was going to name nobody. Like, I wasn't going to pick a player. There was no player on Syracuse that deserved anything from that dreadful schmuckery of a sporting experience. But the jacket, fantastic. Oh, yeah. And Notre Dame scored 70, and they took their foot off the gas. Like, I almost wanted them to keep going just because I was intrigued. But, yeah, today, man, and why, to your point, best half of the season. First half was the best half of the season. People on Twitter were still, when I said that at halftime, were complaining. But their defense, oh, get over it. It was their best half of the season. You have the same jacket, Aaron? Look at you. Aaron D. Drippy. Fantastic. That was at Manny's. They had it at Manny's? All right. Yeah, it's a great jacket. Do you get many compliments? I hope you do. A dog camera that shoots out treats? Yeah. I suppose you could make it a bird feeder camera that just has dog treats in it, but then you just take them all. The birds are a little more selective. The birds eat slow. I do appreciate that. I haven't had to reload the food a ton. Still no, I had a squirrel that was exploring the options today, but the spicy bird seed, it said no bueno, and took off. It was up there. Those squirrels are crafty on how they get up there, but just didn't want it for the for the seed. Aaron, you should, like, whenever you're like, you know what, I'm feeling a little down today. I need to get some compliments, but without just overtly searching for them. You toss that puppy on, and they're just flooding your way. The UNLV edge, yeah, that would be great. McAllister, when he was on live in the 315 on Thursday, that guy from UNLV, whose name I dare not pronounce right now, is supposed to be really, really good. I think, slow start in the portal. Fran's starting to pick up a little momentum here in the last few days. We'll definitely hit Portal Watch Monday 11 live in the 315. We'll break it down. They've now, in the last 60-plus hours, after getting 0 defensive guys, they've picked up 4, a linebacker, and then 3 across the line, and that's exactly where they need guys. So like to see where that is going. The fox wants to eat the squirrels. The foxhound wants to eat the squirrels. Yeah. No, the squirrels want to eat the bird seed, but then it's spicy. So they're like, it's spicy. But we need to complain a little bit, Matt and Wiley. What's the point of doing it all? Yeah. The G-Rob era, I've sort of combined all into one giant ball of wrong. Jason, my low point of the G-Rob era was year 3. They had just gone to Louisville. It was the game that Andrew Robinson went nuts. Brian Brom was Louisville's quarterback. He threw for like 500-something. Louisville made a crazy comeback, but Syracuse ended up winning as like 32-point dogs or whatever it was. And it was like the last moment of hope in the G-Rob era. The very next week, they went to Miami of Ohio, which I'm telling you, Miami in Ohio is in the middle of freaking nowhere. We flew into Cincinnati, and the Cincinnati airport is in Kentucky, and that, then it's like an hour. Like, it is in the middle of absolutely nothing. And it was a terrible set. Like, everything about the day was terrible. Somebody hit my rental car in the parking lot, though I had the insurance, so I didn't have to deal with any crap. It was just a little scratch, but and then, like, the game was such that the thing I remember about the day is that somebody hit my rental car in the parking lot, and they lose to Miami of Ohio. After that, G-Rob coached probably 18, 20 more. I don't know. It was a season and a half plus after that. He coached 18, 20 more games, and it's all just like dust in the wind because it was over, and it just kept going and going and going and going. Yeah, I'm sure Red has already spoken. We can't get it live for the road games, Matt and Y. The hope is that perhaps it will appear for us here soon, posted by the SU Athletics Twitter. It has not as of yet. It appeared right before I was about to end the show on a Tuesday night, so we got the Georgia Tech one. We got eyes on it. We got we're clickety clacking the refresh button. We're looking and looking, and but nothing in the pipeline right now. Yeah, folks be messing with my ride, Super Cat. It's ridiculous. I remember I was returning the rental car after the game, and randomly I walked into at the airport or whatever. I forget if it was the same day I saw Oscar Robertson at the Cincinnati airport. I'm like, is that Oscar Robertson? I'm like, well, he did go to Cincy. But I was returning the rental car, and the lady in front of me had also had an accident of some sort, but did not have the insurance, and she was filling out just a ream of paperwork. And I'm like, yeah, here's the guy's business card. All right, peace. So there we are. You think we're going to retain? I mean, Umari Hatcher's bad cardiac use. That happened. Yeah, the window, man. Why are you bringing up these bad memories? The window. I hit a deer a few years ago. I was coming back from the lacrosse coaches show. Me and Gary up at Heritage Hill, coming down Sweet Road through Pompey, and these two smaller deer just went zoop right in front of me, and the second one full on deer in the headlights. If it had kept going, because I jammed the brakes. If it had kept going, we would have been good. But he deered in the headlights and then just kaboom, careened off into the freaking distance. Thankfully, it was not a full-grown adult deer. Top 10 road trips ever in Q's football. I did not have Georgia Tech live, Matt NY. The timing just worked out. It got posted on the Syracuse YouTube page, and we were able to play it back as if live. But today, that has not happened as of now. Yeah, T. Murphy, I was talking about that the other day on live in the 315. I'm sure there's a reason why this, I know they had to get rid of a game because the ACC expanded the conference schedule and the 9 games and the whole thing. I understand they needed to get rid of a non-conference game. And I'm sure there's a lot of logistics. I've not heard the reason of why it was Toledo versus UConn was their only road one, which is the one you would have obviously wanted to ditch this year. You would have hoped you could have ditched UConn, and my assumption is they'll play Toledo in a later year. I don't know. You could have done the same with UConn. UConn's obviously, very flexible since they have 0 conference games to deal with. But Matt Park feeding the homeless on the air. That was a wild moment in time. I don't think it won any awards. But what was I saying? You just derailed my thoughts there, Weez. But whatever I was saying, I'm sure it was wise. Your last chat there, Weez, just totally wrecked my train of thought. Yeah, Randy, I think I like the Karas hire. Level 5, yeah. So we're looking out for red. I don't know if we're gonna get any red here. What we do have also on Mondays, Toledo or UConn, right? I'm sure. Let's finish the thought there. Thank you, Carmine Bolagello. That I don't know what the logistics were. But now this is back-to-back years with only 6 home games, and I think that's the main thing that stinks, that it's back-to-back years. And there was no Sats today? Where was Sats? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Deer messed it up good. Thankfully, it was drivable because it was right during the time. It was right post-COVID enough. It was that year or two where you just couldn't get car parts. It took a month to get it in for service, but it was at least drivable while I was waiting for it. The moral of all of these stories is it stinks they couldn't move UConn because last year you only had 6 home games because you did the Tennessee game, which I get. You get invited to be in a game like that. You get the paycheck for a game like that. You do it. It's not a complaint. But then the next year, you need to make sure you have 7. Their goal is to have 7, and it's back-to-back years. They've screwed up and not have 7, and there you are. And to the point of people that are buying season tickets, they announced the price of the season tickets when it was 7, right? And now it's 6. Yeah, I love Sats. Was he not there today? I didn't know he wasn't there today. And yeah, it stinks. It stinks. So yeah, I feel bad for I feel bad for those. You really want Reds press or cardiac use? I'm trying. I'm hoping it arrives here. It's not here yet. We'll give it, and we've just passed the hour mark. So it's also possible that it's not going to get uploaded until they fly back to Syracuse, and we're not going to. Even though it's a quick flight, we're not waiting that long. I don't know the order of operations of their workflow for the post game production today, but yeah. All right. Yeah, Monmouth winning. They moved up in the net. Great. They are still so far afield in the net rankings that you want Hofstra to win and those teams to win. That's good, but the loss to Hofstra is more damning than whatever Hofstra's doing to go out. Where was Syracuse in the net? Syracuse was 78 in the net before today. All right. That's it's still way away from where you need to be. But the good news is here this year, when you're looking at net rankings and you're thinking about Syracuse and are they going to have a chance? Remember 2 years ago, not last year, obviously, 2 years ago when we were trying our best to talk our way into that Judah Mintz team having a chance for the tournament? Well, there just weren't any wins of note in the ACC. Yeah, I've always said, can we just still have Jim do the pressers just for the entertainment factor? Duke right now, 4th in the net. Louisville, 15th. Virginia, 20. Carolina, 22. SMU, 27. Clemson, 32. Miami will be in the Dome in a couple weeks, 33. Syracuse will be at NC State in a few weeks. They're 36. Then you get down to the 60s. Virginia Tech, 60. Notre Dame, 61. Wake, 67. Cal, 68. Stanford, 70. So, those are not tournament team numbers, but you have 1, 2, 3. You have 6 decent teams in the net, and then you have another group of 4, 5. Syracuse is number 12 in the net in the league, it looks like, if I counted it right. You're going to have some opportunities here if with Donnie back, you can go and win some games. And now you've won back-to-back double-digit road games in the ACC, and I get it. Georgia Tech's not good, Pitt's not good, but you won them. And you won them by double figures. So it's a good trend. And then I think if you're Syracuse, the main hope is if you can get to any point where it's toward the tournament and there's a tiebreak situation, that's when you're didn't have Donnie for 9 games, and you just scream that from the mountaintops and hope it's a tiebreak in your favor. No late-night Cal games this year. Both Cal and Stanford will be in the Dome. Chris Bell in the Dome. But we do have an obnoxious plethora of 9 o'clock Dome games, including this upcoming Tuesday against Florida State. All right, we're going to give it one more refresh to see if Red has become available to us before we... Whoa! It's uploading right now. Oh, my goodness. What a moment in time. The Red post-game presser. Hang on. We'll wrap up with Red. Give me a second. We need a couple of clicks. We're getting some Red post-game press conference, and this will wrap it up today. Red, go.
About this game today is, around the 6-minute mark, our defense really stepped up, whether it was the 2, our zone, or our man, and, held them to 4 points going down, to the end of the game. I thought that was really, the difference. I thought, we really did some good things on offense, and then, again, we got a little stagnant. We got to continue to work on that. But overall, I thought our defense down the stretch was the key, getting stops. I thought our zone was really good. We got to keep working on getting rebounds out of the zone. But overall, I thought, it was a collective effort. I was very proud of J.J. Starlin. I thought he had a tremendous game. I thought he came in and, really set the tone right from the beginning. And everybody else, everybody that came in the game contributed. Tyler Betsy was really good, big for us. So, again, when we make 10 threes, I think that's the first time we made 10 threes this year. So I thought that was the difference as well on offense. We shared the ball, we moved it, and we got to continually get better, on that end. But overall, to come out and get a win on the road at Pittsburgh, which is a tough place to play, we're excited about that, but we still know we got more work to do.
Coming into the game, you guys were averaging roughly 6.5 threes per game. and then you hit 8 alone in the first half. What led to some of that success?
Well, I think the one thing is, since we've had, Donnie back, he's a guy that can, stretch the floor. So when we were getting 6 or 7 a game without him playing, now, he's capable of making anywhere from 3 to 5 a game. And today, he was 3 for 6. That's a big difference. And, Tyler Betsy was 3 for 4. So again, and JJ, he made his threes today. So again, when we shoot the ball like that from 3 and we lock it on defensively, we'll give ourselves a chance. Pretty much every game.
Again, having your best player back, good.
36% from 3 entering the game. They only shot 19. What was it about your game plan and maybe what your guys did today that helped them?
I thought our guys did a good job of sticking to the game plan. We knew they had some really good shooters, and we wanted to make it tough for them. We wanted to have a level 5 communication of where those guys were at. I thought our guys executed the game plan really well. And to be honest with you, the last 2 games, Georgia Tech was shooting the ball really well from 3, in Pittsburgh as well. So I thought we did a really good job of executing the game plan as far as defending the 3-point line.
Level 5.
Miles put back dunk to start the second half, and how do you feel like that helped improve the momentum of your team today?
Well, my guys act like they'd never seen that before. I mean, he does it a lot. But no, it was, in the moment as a coach, I'm just, trying to calm them down and settle them down. But it was, it was a really thunderous dunk. I think, when you have those type of plays, it can't do nothing but energize your team, your fans. And again, I thought we fed off that energy for a while.
That was a level 5 dunk. Level 10, maybe.
He was much more aggressive today. Did you have any kind of conversations with him, or what was the difference in the way he played today compared to the way he played in the first 2 ACC games, do you think?
I think everyone has to understand, or not understand, but what I think, this is a very talented team. I think we got multiple guys that can score double figures. So, this is, different from last year, where he had to do a lot of heavy lifting. I think, with this team, with Donnie and JJ and Nate George and Betsy and Cayenne, all these guys can score double figures. So, it's really about, him being aggressive. And I thought he was aggressive against Georgia Tech. I tell you, I'll go back and watch it. Took good shots, 1 or 2 or 3s if they go in, one of those two layups that rims out. He has 15, 16 points a game. So, again, the biggest thing about JJ, he just needs to stay aggressive, all right? Stay aggressive. But I love the fact that, he had 4 assists. He defended really well, and got some rebounds. Again, I think, people need to understand JJ is an all-around player right now. Right? He's showing that right now. It's not just about scoring. So you can't, for this year in particular, just base it on how many points he scores. Just the impact that he has, his leadership that he has, and he's grown into that. And, I'm just proud of the way he continues to, pick himself up after each game or, good or bad and readjust. This is his senior year, and he's doing a good job of leading us.
Level 5. Other things for JJ. Can lentil soup be level 5? Does it go that high?
I think your guys are also able to sit there and not let it get any worse, and you come away with 2 low wins. Can you talk about the ups and downs there in the second half of each of the last 2 games? Yeah, I mean, we've had 2 big dips in the last 2 games, and it's something that we continually need to work on and address. Careless turnovers, or we kind of lose focus, and we got to work on that. All right, we got to take care of the ball better. We got to continually attack and be aggressive. But typically when those things happen, it's when we stop playing defense. Right, like you can have those dips. Right, like we had that dip in the last 6 minutes. Right, but we stopped them, and then when we did score a couple, that made the difference. So when we have those dips, we got to focus on defense and not on offense.
Less dips equals big wins.
29 points off the bench.
Yeah, he was on fire. He made some tough shots. He got into his rhythm. I thought we did a good job of trying to make him work. But he's, we knew he was a scorer. A guy that can, when he gets hot, he's going to be tough to shot. And I thought he made some tough shots. So a lot of credit to him. He's a really good player. But anything in particular, I thought, if you looked at all of his shots, I don't think he had not too many easy ones. Everything was off the bounce or side steps. He made some shots. So, so we just wanted to make it tough for him.
Cameron Cohen only had 9 points. What did you do defensively to slow him down?
We tried to give him different looks. We tried to be physical with him. We tried to beat him to the spots. And the biggest thing is, when the ball came to his side, we just wanted to make it tough for him to catch and try to push him out. I thought Soiree and Will and even Donnie for moments, we gave him a couple of different looks.
Noah did return to the juicing station today. Come on. Hit the trifecta.
Do you feel like this game was your most complete 40 minutes so far this year?
No, not yet. Not yet. I think, again, we're jumping out to leads, and I think we got to do a better job of really, when those leads happen, even when we go on our dips offensively, we need to be able to, withstand that and not let these leads shrink as much. But I don't think any coach is typically happy, that you can find something wrong with everything. But I am happy for these guys, the way they fight, the way they stay together. And we just got to continue to improve, on those dips, on those lows. When we do stop scoring, we got to lock back in on defense.
Can the juicing station help the dips? Lobdell.
Stagnation in the second half. Do you think that's leading to some of the turnovers, like guys aren't coming to the ball, or like they're standing and?
Yeah, we talked about getting open and being hard to guard, and I don't think I think you're a little spot on with that a little bit. I think we got to do a better job of getting open, being able to move the ball from side to side, especially when our bigs have it and we're trying to get it reverse it. Our guards got to do better job of getting open and getting into the ball, getting into their man and getting open. So we got to do a better job of that, and we got to do a better job of screening. I think the last two games we've improved our screening. That's why our offense is improving, and we got to continue to improve on that.
Yeah, ball movement the last two games has been way, way better than before, in that it exists.
Staff and the other guys kind of help him adjust to this role off the bench.
Well, that -10 doesn't. He played well today. I thought he gave us some energy. I thought he made some plays. I thought Sadiq was really good today. So, that -10 doesn't register, on my clock. I thought he was really good. I thought he came in a little aggressive. We got to do a better job of, obviously, we all got to do a better job getting some rebounds. I thought he could have scrapped a couple out, but I like where Sadiq was at today.
Donnie's been pretty unstoppable since coming back from injury. What do you think?
There you go, Ryan. That could be a budgetary issue, though.
I think his physicalness. I think he's really worked on his body. He's stronger. I think that's allowed him to be a better shooter, be a better driver. I think the understanding of what college is about. I think that's really helped him. So a year older. But I think the biggest thing is the way he's changed his body. The strength has allowed him to be more consistent. And driving the ball and shooting the ball.
Got time for one more.
You guys average 7 blocks per game, but this game you only got 1. How could you win using different defensive?
They got lots of steals.
I think the biggest thing is what we try to hang our hat on. We don't try to get blocks or steals. We try to keep people in front of us and make them take tough shots. I think that's what we really focus on. I think if we in our positioning, and if we're in our positioning, steals will happen. Blocks will happen. It's we're not secretly, we're not going out there trying to hunt and say, hey, we want to block shots. We just want to play, position, aggressive defense, disruptive defense, and being in the right place.
Thanks, Coach.
There he goes. There goes Red. Oh, we clicked the buttons on YouTube fast enough today to get the extraneous nonsense off the screen. Afterwards, it's trying to show me Derrick Rose highlights. Why? I don't want Derrick Rose highlights. Nate George is a turnover machine. He had 6 turnovers today, but he was certainly the main culprit of the turnovers today. Syracuse had 11, he had 6 of them. So yeah, that was more of a Nate thing than anybody else. All right, I think that's going to bring us to the end of our time together today. A little Red for you as we wrap it up. Again, upcoming schedule. This for you, Weez, and for the others. 11 a.m. Monday and Thursday will be live in the 315. Far too late. Probably 11 p.m. on Tuesday. We'll be there post-game for Syracuse and Florida State. Jordan and myself. A little TPS report will be with you 8 o'clock on Wednesday night. That be the schedule for the upcoming week. Orange with the big win today. Back-to-back double-digit wins on the road in the league to improve to 2-1 in the ACC. 11 a.m. Monday, Eastern. That's 8 o'clock. San Diego Cuse out there in the Pacific. Yeah, everybody no dips on the weekend. Keep it full throttle until we talk to you at 11 o'clock on Monday. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy your weekend. Talk to you on Monday morning.
Thanks for watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. We'll see you next time.